image of what every man, knight or king, peasant or merchant, wanted in a wife. Someone who was meek in spirit, to make a man feel braver and stronger. A wife who was docile enough to allow a man to be the king of his castle. A woman whose head was as light inside as outside, to assure him that he would be more intelligent and therefore superior. According to the Church, the colour of a woman's hair bespoke her true nature. The men empowered by the Church based this theory on the conclusion that hair grew directly from the brain. Fiery hair in a woman warned men of a woman's devilish spirit. Since woodland covered 2/3 of the English Isle, hair the colour of tree trunks was considered common and showed the woman had little imagination. Hair the colour of midnight, which everyone knew was the witching hour, crowned the heads of women all too clever and devious. 'Twas even said by those same men of the Church that Eve herself had hair as black as a woman's sin. But a woman with light hair was perfect. Unfortunately, those men of the Church did not know Clio. Like a field of golden buttercups that hides a prickly hedgehog, Lady Clio's hair hid her true nature. She was headstrong and determined, traits admired in men, but scoffed at in women. Her father swore she had been born with that stubbornness. Before Clio's birth, Clio's mother had lost 5 babes. With Clio, as before, her mother's birthing pains had come before her time, so Clio came into the world 2 months early. When the priest tried to perform last rites over her puny blue body, she kicked his hand, and, according to her father, opened her mouth and almost wailed the castle walls down. To the utter amazement of everyone, Clio lived. From the first moment of her life she had fought against the impossible. Lady Clio was born fighting to control her own destiny. Of course, in her mind she wasn't stubborn. Persistent was what she was. Had she given up at birth, where would she be? Dead, that's where. So Clio believed in being determined. She would not let anyone control her life, for only she held power over her survival. She believed that with persistence came success. If one of her wonderful plans failed, she could always come up with another. She was small in stature, but had the heart of a giant. Her mind was sometimes too quick for her own good. Once she got one of her infamous ideas into her head, she seldom thought about the consequences, of which there were usually many. Yet no one could say she did not learn from her errors. She was not that much of a goose. She seldom made the same mistake twice. She always made new mistakes, which suited her because she was the one who determined her own future. Even if the path was strewn with the remnants of her failures, at least they were her failures. Clio never allowed something as minor as a lack of skill to daunt her efforts. She firmly believed perfection came with practice. Of course, she had no sound reason on which to base this belief. Indeed, history, logic, and her reputation demanded just the opposite. But she loved a challenge, embraced it, revelled in it. Those who knew her called her tenacious spirit a mulish exercise in futility. But Clio just didn't believe in giving up. She would just conjure up a new plan, an idea. Clio thought ideas were wonderful things. Those who had been privy to some of her fiascos recognized the warning signs. The quiet and sudden stillness of her manner, the small frown line that wrinkled between her brows, the thoughtful chewing of her lower lip, or the twisting of her mother's jewelled ring on her finger.